We put the love back in the right. It's love in black and white.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White with your hosts, myself, Big Irish Jay, and my co-host, Manuelus Rojas Martin.
Rojas. Yes, we putting the love back in you today, baby. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and spending your day with us for the next hour. And we're going to get into, just all the good stuff in life, man. We're talking about love from a relationship standpoint of being, in a just a shitty relationship or a good relationship or
It sounds
a
like you're
married
trying to pitch the
relationship.
podcast right now. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. How do you like the new intro? The new intro song, Manny.
So good, so good. It feels like it was an '80s jam, and I feel like I've known that song forever, and it just, putting the love back in you.
Shout out to Amir Khalil, buddy that did that for us. And he was like, do you want me to touch it up or do anything? And I was like, no, it's shitty. It's perfect. Don't change a thing. I was like, maybe later do an auto-tune remix. Who knows? the fucking singing though. I had Sean listen to it, and Sean's like, it was funny because at first he was like, he goes, oh, it's perfect. And in my head, I was like, oh, you think like the singing's good and everything? But before I could even finish it, he goes, yeah, that's awful. It's perfect.
I feel at some point we need to, when we're in the same like place, we need to have like that old 80s, 90s like TV show intros where they were like, it's like Jay Hollingsworth and you come around the corner and you're like, you know what I mean? And then we do like
strangers.
Exactly.
Or we'll just take, it's a rare condition in this day and age where a black and white guy can talk about AIDS. I don't know. So fucking stupid. All right, let's get into it, man. Our teaser from last week was, for this episode, was cheating. Can you go? We talked about cheating on a previous episode, like as if have we ever cheated? But this one is, could you go back to someone that cheated on you? So
that's such a loaded question.
How did you deal with Crystal cheating on you? Just kidding.
She roughed me up and she was like, "You ain't going nowhere, bitch." And I was like, "Okay, fair enough." But it's such a loaded question, right? It's like, what's the extent? Because it's like, I won't say his name, but we had a buddy who got cheated on, and his like girl was in like a gangbang, and I was like, I don't know if you could ever come back to that.
I'm trying to think of our buddy who, we'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, I'll give a little bit of the backstory. Was he was on the other side of the phone, and like, she was, so it was pretty bad.
Wait. Hold on. Tell the story. The
Okay,
names
so
have been omitted for the innocent.
Yeah. So from what I heard, he was dating this girl, and she like called him, and she was like in the middle of like a three-way, and he
not
was
a three-way
devastated.
call, a three-way train.
No, yeah, yeah, like with oh my god, so he was devastated.
He's like, there's a lot of crosstalk on this phone call. A lot of whose pussy is this? And you like that bitch? Who in crosstalk on the cell phone?
So, I mean, there's different levels of it, and I think the way that you posed it, I think we definitely have to go to some couples counseling in order to get through something like that. But my initial thoughts would be like, yo, peace, deuces. But, it's like, depending on how long you've been together, is this a pattern? What kind of stuff is going on? Are there kids involved? There's so many other like levels to it that I would say, if it was just the one time, I probably could get past it, but I think I would probably after that have some doubts in my head, and I would probably do that tracker thing. You know what I mean? Like I'd have the tracker on the phone, like, where the fuck you at?
We're like, I mean, you brought it on yourself, bitch.
What about you?
It's so funny you say the thing about, who all's involved, like, and what level are you at in the relationship? Because I know me from my upbringing, and I guess my fucking the head, how my head's fucked up from how I was brought up. Like, I've talked about before. growing up, me and my mom didn't have the best relationship, and my mom used to like threaten to put me up for adoption, or
Right.
obviously I'm laughing about it now, or like to award me to the court for not like vacuuming.
Right.
Like you didn't vacuum the living room, bitch. You're gonna be fucking little orphan Annie. But so I know that I have a pattern or a habit or however you want to say it, where if I feel like someone's done me wrong intentionally, obviously, you know, and this is talking about cheating, or could be, I guess, just relate. I mean, I'm trying to think of another way somebody could try and fuck me over. But anyways, I have a habit or defense mechanism, or how I react to it is I kind of just shut down emotionally to the person. Like I don't get hateful or revengeful or anything like that. I'm like, in a sense, it's like my head or my body reacts where I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, all right, cool. So this is done. And I don't wish him any ill will. If I saw him out, I'd be like, hey, what's up? But I'm indifferent to him. I don't care anymore. I'm like, you could, once I get to that point where I cut off emotionally, you could be fucking a dude in front of me, and I would just be like, oh, cool. It looks like you guys are having a good time. I'm Teflon Don. It won't hurt me, you know? Now,
Totally.
So the other thing too, part of that too is, let's say it's nothing major. Maybe let's say it's not, cheating's cheating, but she was out with some friends and got hammered, and she kissed a guy. That's literally it. All they did is kissed, and you 100% know it was just kissing. Like you're
Right.
Maybe one of the friends that was there is really tight with you, and is like, Jay, I'll be honest, I would tell you if it was more. Honestly, she was just drunk, she was dancing, she kissed. Cool. Hey man, that's cool. But here's the thing is now that's always going to be in the back of my head. Like I could probably be like, that's fucked up. Obviously I'm pissed about it. But then now next time you're like, hey, I'm going to go out with my friends drinking, now I'm like, oh fuck, this is now in the back of my head. And if it's a more serious one or something more serious, I fucking blew a dude in the back of a Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. He was in my donut hole and I was fucking blowing him. That's going to be hard for me, even whether it sucks because like if you have kids or if if you're married, dude, it's the reason I'm saying it sucks is because you may want to do the right thing, so to speak, or whatever by your kids and be like, well, I'll stay in this relationship. But then now you're in a relationship. For me, I would be in a relationship that I can't trust that person. I will always have thoughts of like, and I honestly, I probably would get to that where I'm just like, all right, I'm cool. We can stay together, I guess. But I will never be back to that level. It's fucked, dude. I'm thinking about how I would react to it and how it's almost like fucked.
That's that's exactly what happened to another buddy of ours, comic. He literally found out through he found out somehow. Oh, he went through her like emails and shit, and then found out that, went through her diary and found out that she had an affair. I was like, ugh, it's like that already there is a problem that you already don't trust that person. So, but that person wasn't honest with him, so he found out that way. They still stayed together, and I think it's for the kids. But I mean, God, man, I don't know. I think you could still have healthy kids in a divorce setting. Just nobody's worth the price of being miserable.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at me. I turned out great. My parents got divorced.
Same here. I don't have any problems.
Okay, there was something you just said that made me think of. Oh man, fuck! You were saying that the person was looking at their diary, looked in their diary.
Yeah,
God, damn.
Not having any trust. And it's it was interesting because
I think it was. Keep going though. I know what it is.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
No, go ahead.
No. Finish what you're saying. You're saying it was interesting. What?
Oh, I mean, it's interesting because I think at one point in the relationship, the buddy of ours said that he only looked at his marriage as transactional. He was like, this is just a business relationship, and it's just until they get, out of high school. But I'm like, why would you want to be that miserable and do that, so
Man.
it's but to each his own. I don't know, every relationship's different.
Okay, here's the question now.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say I'm your friend. Pretend I'm your friend. No, okay. So whoever somebody finds out that Crystal is cheating on you, 100%. She's cheating on you. She's having an affair multiple times. She's hooking up with someone.
Yeah.
And nothing is gonna come from that other than it's just a physical thing. But she loves you. She loves you. You have a family. You love your kids and everything. Do you want to know?
Ooh, that's a good question.
We can even add this little twist to it. She's ended it now. Actually, we'll do that. She had an affair for a year. You never knew about it.
Ooh.
It was literally just physical. But she's cut it off, and like maybe I'm her brother or whatever, and she's confided in me. I never loved him. I don't know why I did it. It was stupid, and it'll never happen again. Do I tell you, or do you want to know?
Damn, I mean that's a loaded question, because it's like, I mean, there's the part of you that it's like you could just live, blissfully in ignorance, but then there's also the other part of you that's just like, damn, you hope that there's just honesty throughout. So I mean, fuck.
And now the other thing too, I think about how would that person feel where you're, she's your wife or girlfriend or whatever has had an affair, it's over or whatever. And then you're out in public or something, and there's like some good-looking guy, and you just say to your girl, you're like, honey, I always appreciate it. I never have to worry about you. You're always so faithful. I mean, you don't even look at other guys. You're the best, honey. And then inside, she's just like, ooh, fucking yikes.
Well, I know I didn't answer it, but how would you feel about that? Would you want to know?
Go ahead. We'll wait. We'll let you answer it first.
I'm gonna say yeah, because it's like, why keep any secrets? You know what I mean?
Right now,
it's
Crystal's like, fuck.
I just think that it's better to just be honest with the whole thing, and it's like, if you have to live a lie, then why are you even in the relationship, right? And so how about you?
What I want to know, like if you found out, and because the other thing too is, let's say you know, and you think okay, it's over. No harm, no foul, so to speak. If Jay doesn't know, it's not going to hurt him. I'll keep it to myself.
Right.
Then let's say 2 years, 3 years down the road, I then do find out, and I also find out that you knew and didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, Manny, what the fuck? You're like my best friends. Why would we? What fuck?
Yeah.
So I would, because now it's become, now it's not just my wife or girlfriend I don't trust. It's my best buddies I can't trust.
Yeah. And I mean, then on top of that, you find out that the guy was Magic Johnson, and you're like, whoa, shit.
Fucking God damn. I was wondering why she all of a sudden had great ball handling. Okay. Okay. And AIDS.
Stupid.
So fucking stupid.
Oh my God.
All right, so we both are in agreement. I said I probably couldn't go back to somebody. With you being married, I don't know if you answered that specifically. You find out she's cheated on you in whatever level, and maybe there's different ways of your reaction to the different types of cheating. A peck, do you react differently to she's fucking two guys, she's just taking it up?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm out. You know what I mean? If it's that. But if it was just like she got drunk and kissed somebody, then, I feel like we could work through that. But if it was like, yo, you went and, you had this relationship, or you had like a crazy night of, you know what I mean? You were just hanging out with a swingers party. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I think that there's.
Okay, now, flash forward 3 years from now. And you have kids. Yeah, I'm doing a Manny Manny scenario. The one-uppers of scenarios. Okay, you're 3 years forward or whatever. You have a baby. You have a son, a kid together. And she did have an affair. Whatever. You were on the road, and I who knows what the reason is. She had an affair though for a while.
Yeah.
And you have a kid together.
Oh yeah, I'm gone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that would be like
Still
some Maury
the
Povich shit,
same.
right? Yeah. Still the same. I mean, it feels like Maury Povich at that point. You're like, is this
Yeah.
kid even mine? You know what I mean? And
Oh,
it's like,
yeah. Yeah.
you know, so
Okay. All right.
that brings
You
up a whole
answered
nother
it.
thing.
We answered that one. All
Yep.
right. Another question we had on here, another comment on here. With dating now, it's I know you're not in the dating world, but I mean, I guess could be relationship in general. Texting versus
Yeah.
calling now. So
mm-hmm.
In the dating apps, I guess, and just in life in general. I mean, some people on the dating apps will be like, I want to talk. I'm not really a big fan of texting, and then other people are the opposite of that. Like, I worked at a call center for before comedy and everything. I worked at a call center for I think like 10 to 15 years or something, and days of 200 calls a day. And you get off the job and you're just like, oh man, the last thing I want to do is talk on the phone. So I love texting. I mean, I feel like talking, even talking on the phone, is one of the worst ways to communicate. You can't see facial expressions, body language, all that shit.
Right.
So even when I'm talking unless I'm driving, if I'm on a long road trip, I'm cool. Let's talk. We can talk I'll talk the whole fucking time, But just, I'm like, but just sitting around and talking, ugh, yuck. I mean, I'm more like, I'd be like, if we're talking on the phone, I'd be like, what do you want to do? What time? Okay, let's talk then when I can see you and all that. Otherwise,
Right.
I don't know. Fuck. Or I like FaceTime. I like FaceTime actually more than talking on the phone.
Interesting. That's so funny because I don't think I've ever, FaceTime wasn't probably around really when I was dating. So I don't think I've ever really experienced that, but I could see the benefits of it. I'm with you though. It's like after a long day of talking to too many people, you don't want to talk on the phone anymore. And it's like, a text is fine to me, but I get it in the beginning of a relationship. You got to communicate. You want to know who this person is. So, but I'm not 15 anymore. I don't want to sit on the phone for 3 hours and talk, So.
Dude, I remember when I was in high school, actually it was probably like my first girlfriend I loved or whatever.
Yeah.
Say it's so flippant. I fucking loved her or whatever. No. Nicolasa Bonifacio, Filipino girl when I lived in Oregon. But I remember one time, and it was totally that high school thing, like, what are you watching right now? I'm watching it. Here, let's watch it on TV together and then just sit on the phone. Ugh, fucking boo. But I remember my dad one time, we're on the phone. We had been on the phone for a good 45 minutes, probably an hour. And my dad just comes in and he literally just goes, Jesus Christ, get it fucking handled. Let's fucking go. Wrap it up here. He didn't even need to use the phone. He just was annoyed that now I'm like, oh, I get it. I fucking get it.
Yeah, totally. My dad, I remember one time I was talking to a girl in high school, and he was like, hey, man, don't be wrapping up the phone all fucking night.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, fair enough.
They don't even need to use it. It's just fucking.
That's what I'm saying.
My dad's just like, Jesus Christ, what is the fucking get it handled?
Exactly. Jesus, man. And I wonder,
Now,
were phone plans different? Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I wonder if phone plans were different back then. I wonder where we like running up their minutes and making a huge bill and shit. It's not like today where you got unlimited minutes. And
I was on the phone with a sex operator. He's like, God damn it, what's this 1-800 eat the booty like a crusher? I don't know. They didn't do that back then.
No.
That's interesting. You said you still haven't really fucked with FaceTime or Duo, Google's version Duo.
Not really. I mean, me and Crystal, we live in the same house, so it's like I have no reason to
You're in the
Duo.
living room, she's in the bed. Wait.
Yeah, exactly. We just our conversations are brief on the phone. It's never anything too long. It's like, hey, blah blah blah. Or do we need to go to the store? Do we need this from But when we're home, we have deep. We talk about all kind of stuff. We talk about religion, philosophy, politics, I guess if we lived in separate households, that would totally make more sense to do a Google Duo, especially with like in your scenario, you're on the road more. So if you're dating somebody, you know, you're not seeing them as frequent. And I'm sure that they're like, Jay, let me check the bedroom. Let me see who's in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when I was dating Isabel, when I would go out on the road on, I was going to say go out on the road on Isabel. Go out on the road. But I was dating Isabel. I'd get back from the show, you know, and she would work nights sometimes as a nurse. And so I would, you know, we would video message. And sometimes I'm like in the side of the, you know, it's a sideways angle or vice versa 'cause she's in bed and just, you know, talk about the show or the day or whatever. And I like I said, I like that a lot better. I'd rather talk on video messaging for 20 minutes than on the phone for fucking 2 minutes.
Exactly.
For
Yeah.
reason.
There's something about it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Indoorsy and outdoorsy couples coexisting.
Yeah, that you
have a joke about
for
that,
me,
right?
Oh my god, yeah. So for me, that was the hardest thing in the beginning was that she was very outdoorsy, and I'm like, okay,
you're an indoor cat.
I'm an indoor cat, man. Like my ideal Sundays with my mom and my sister when I was growing up was we would go to church and then we'd come back home. You know, she'd get us a donut from Safeway. We'd come back home and we just chill the whole day. Didn't matter if it was sunny outside. It was
my
like,
girl was blowing some dude in the back of that donut shop. Call back to earlier.
That's so stupid. But yeah, that was our Sundays. We would get home from church. We'd sit. We'd watch like World's Scariest Police Chases and just dumb shit, you know what I mean, all day. And then we would just get ready for school the next day. But, you know, Crystal's family, they're very like, they like hiking, they go skiing and snowboarding. And that just wasn't my pastime, you know. But it's like, I think that if you're going to be a healthy marriage, couple, etc., I think you got to be somewhat on the same page. I don't think you could just be like, hey, yo, go hike by yourself, you know, all the time. You got to be able to give some. So, yeah.
Also, like, I think protective, too, where you
yeah.
know, all right, good luck with them cougars. And I don't mean fucking old women. Yeah, well, then here's probably something you haven't thought about. Like, for me, I can't, like, if I date a chick that she's like, oh, I love to hike, I'd be like, I actually would have to be like, oh, that's cool. That'll be one thing we don't do together. Because I got a fucking bum knee. And we'd be like, you know, she's like, this hike usually takes me like 30 minutes. We're at 3 hours now. I'm like, I'm fucking working on it, bitch. My fucking knee. You want to carry me? Fuck. You know,
it reminds me of that show that you were talking about. You know, and it's like, you know, like, hey, come on, Jay, will you just rock climb with me? No, that's not.
No. Yeah, fuck, dude. Yeah, it's and I'm definitely indoor cat. I've thought about, you know what I'm thinking about for my knee and just to get exercise. I'm thinking about buying a bike, but like to get a bike that's for my height and, you know, support me and everything. It's like fucking $2,000.
Dude, it's so crazy. Some of the new technology, it's amazing. But it's like, you know, me and Crystal.
This isn't even, it's just a bike for a fucking big fat dude. It's like,
wait,
there's
so
no technology except steel. It's just fucking reinforced steel.
Wait, it's not like the Peloton with the like.
No, it's like a fucking Schwinn, but just with double steel. Fucking got a Huffy for a Hefty. That's what mine's a Hefty.
It's so stupid. Oh my god, man. It's, you know, I think in order to be a successful like relationship though, you got to be somewhat on the same level, because me and Crystal both enjoy working out. Like, I don't think it wouldn't work if she was like, well, I'm going to go run again, or I'm going to go, you know, on this hike again by herself. You know, I think that there would be some sort of resentment that you don't get to share these things with your partner. I do know a married couple where the guy loves to be very outdoorsy, and his wife is very, you know, just, oh, you go do that by yourself. Go ahead. Yeah, go have fun. And I think that deep down, he may resent that a little bit because that was his, you know, that's his best friend, you know, per se. You know, like, I know you say, oh, my best friend, you know what I mean? But that really is, that's his partner in crime, and she won't go do some of these things.
What if you, because I think about back when I used to hoop, when I played basketball all the time, and I mean, girl couldn't hoop.
But
fucking dating Sue Bird. No, I would, you know, and sometimes, you know, if I was dating a girl and I'd go play basketball, maybe she'd come hang out, and it's not that girls can't hoop. It's just like the girls that I was dating trying to think. None of them were like hoopers,
Right.
So at different times, like Nikki, when I was dating Nikki back in the day, she would come to the park and just sit there and chill.
Yeah.
Or I think I had a girl come to the Y or whatever, and then afterwards, like sometimes girls would want to like be affectionate when I was all sweaty. I was like, ugh, let me take a shower. Ugh, I liked it. I'm like, ugh, fucking gross.
Yeah, see, I'm with you. That was always hard for me. My first, or actually my second girlfriend, the one of like 3 years who cheated on me, she was always she always would come to the basketball court with me and the guys, and I'm just like, man, I have no space. Like I enjoyed hooping with the guys and having my own identity out there and not having to like worry, is she entertained? Is she like, is she bored? I'm like, get yourself some friends. She didn't really have that many friends.
So what?
She's not gonna watch
So what if
this.
that's your thing? What if you, this is more not indoor outdoor, but more exercise routines. Like, so what if you're like, I like to work out or exercise, but my workout is I just like to play hoop. I don't like hiking. I don't like lifting weights or all that, but I'll hoop for 3 or 4 hours. And she's like, well, I don't play basketball and I don't really have an interest. So then in that scenario, then what happens? Cause then it's kind of like your buddy where maybe she's like, well, you go hoop. I'll go hike while you go hoop or whatever.
Right. I mean, that it's so funny because it's like, there's a part of me that's that protector where it's like, God, if you're going to go hike by yourself, I'm going to be worried about you because one, you got cougars. There could be creepers out there who jump out of the bush and try to attack you. But I do
the
like
three
the idea.
C's. There could be cougars, could be creeps, and could be cocks out there.
I do think though, there's a happy medium, right? So it's like if you like to hoop and she just likes to maybe work out or do, she likes the gym, you can hit the basketball court when you're at the gym and she could just hit, the stairs or the, elliptical, whatever. You just got to find that happy medium. Yeah. So, or just have your designated time to go hoop. But I mean, like, I'm like you, like probably basketball is the only way I'll ever get back in shape. And, I can't commit to a gym or any of that stuff. I can't create routines so.
Dude, it's fucking, sucks getting old. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh, you put some good ones in here. Ooh. I'm reading these. Okay, here's a question for you, Manulus. It's so crazy because knowing you and Crystal, I can't imagine this, but have you and Crystal ever had like a big, do you remember like the biggest fight you guys have ever had?
I mean, we've had them.
Do you guys ever have like screaming, yelling, calling you out to name fights?
We don't call each other out of our name, but there have been times where it's like, man, I see a little bit of my dad in myself where it's like, if we're arguing and I'm really upset, I'm going to try to say the most hurtful thing to get under your skin. And it's not okay by any means. Like for any married couple or relationship out there, there's better ways to argue than doing that shit. My dad used to do it. He used to be, he used to say shit that would be fucked up. And I'll never get to that point, but like, during quarantine, we had a big blow up and, we resolved it later, but I can't even remember what it was about. It was something that wasn't even that significant, but, it's always
interesting. What's crazy is that's because from being me and you, I mean, but we never really had any fights. But
I think that's the thing.
That's interesting. That's actually very brave, Manny, that you can recognize that in yourself. And that's very self-aware but it's also interesting because I can't ever imagine seeing that part of you, but again, like we never had any, it was like, you were never like, hey, you fat fuck, the electric bills due, bitch.
But, I think we're me and you are such chill people that, we didn't butt heads. And I think, me, I'm passive already, you know what I mean? So even if something was bothering me, which nothing you really did ever bothered me, but it's like, I don't know. I've had bad roommates and there's been the fights and stuff, but
yeah, like when they try and fuck your girl.
Yep.
Okay, so here was my question, because I will say this about me, like with fighting, I'm not a yeller. I'm not into name calling. I think I look at it very like math problem type thing, or very analytical. Like, okay, we're having I always say a disagreement. We're having an argument or disagreement about something.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that we have? What's our problem? Okay, this is our issue. Now, instead of yelling and screaming and name calling, my mind works like, okay, well, what how do we resolve it? What's the resolution? What are we trying to get out of this?
Right.
So let's work on that instead of thinking of how to fucking, name call. So that's my question to you, Manny, is if you have one of those big blow-ups in the moment or at the time, how do you resolve that, or how do you go to bed at night? Do you do the thing where don't go to bed mad, or are you like, fuck it, we'll get better when we get better?
Yeah, that's kind of how I am, because, as much as I'd like to go to bed without any type of anger, we're only human, right? So it's like there's certain things you're not going to resolve before the end of the night. But sometimes it does take one person being the bigger person and being like, look, I was wrong to have done this, this, and this. But sometimes you're so mad in the moment that you don't do that. But one thing that I think Crystal has come to learn with me is when I'm really upset, just give me space for a little bit, let me cool down, and then we can talk. It's like, that's my biggest thing. Like in previous relationships, when a girl would be like, no, we talk about this shit right now, motherfucker. And I'm like, please don't do this right now, because I'm not in the mood. I'm going to say some shit I'm going to regret. And you know what I mean? So my big thing is let each other cool off, and then you can approach it later and have those conversations. What about you? Have you?
I'm just laughing because you just start saying crazy shit. You'd be like, I don't want to go back. Don't make me fucking go back. She's like, go back? What the fuck? What don't I know about your past? I don't want to do it again. I've had to live with that for 5 years.
Did you ever see the movie Baby Boy?
Oh yeah.
Where Ving Rhames like knocked the shit out of Tyrese, and he was just like, little niggas always want to be fucking with me, trying to send me back. You know what I mean? I was like,
I can't really quote the movie, but that's cool. Just fucking butt naked. You want some breakfast,
dude? Oh my god! Have you ever had you had a stepdad at one point, right?
Yeah, dude. I fucking. Yeah, they would. My mom and stepdad would. Jimmy, his name was Jimmy Jones. He was a public address announcer for the Portland Trail Blazers and then the Seattle Supersonics way back in the day. And Jimmy was very militant, deep voice because he did public address. What's up?
Oh, I said yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. They had some screaming matches and fucking they would say some shit sometimes that I was like, Jesus Christ. But I don't know. And I'm trying to think of my dad, like if he ever he might have gotten in a few, but like I always look to my, I've said this before on the podcast. I always look to my grandparents as like a relationship, or a successful relationship, or how I would like to model after. I'm trying to think of it the last time that I was like, it takes a lot for me to get mad. And I remember, excuse me. And this wasn't even this is like a girl I was on a first or second date living in Seattle. And this girl, we had gone to a movie in downtown Seattle at one of the theaters, Meridian 16, I think. And, the parking garage there has like multiple levels. So we parked, we went to the movie. In the movie, she saw a friend of hers, some girlfriend, and they're like fucking yelling across the movie. I'm like, really? Everybody's looking at us like, oh, it's true about what they say. Talking like, so we got done, and girl was beautiful. And we're walking back to the car, and we're in the parking garage, and I can't fucking find the car. I can't remember where we're at in the parking garage. And she's just fucking in my ear. I'm like, because we've been now walking like 10, 15 minutes up and down. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I can't believe she was so fucking in my ear. God, dude. She's like, how stupid you gotta be. You can't remember where you parked your fucking car. And I was like, yeah, but you were with me, so you're as fucking stupid as I am. Dumb shit. Which that's actually pretty rare for me to respond like that. But dude, it was just kept fucking. You can't find the car. I can't believe you can't find the car. I was like, in my head, I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to think of. I haven't. I don't really remember like just a fucking like somebody that I'm dating like this is my girl.
Yeah.
We're yelling and yelling. I
Yeah,
can't
you know
even
what's so
remember.
funny is that that whole thing reminded me of. You ever seen the movie Jackie Brown?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. So De Niro, when they get the money out of the mall or whatever, the girl's like, "Oh, you're fucking stupid. You can't even remember where the car is." He's like, "Don't fucking start with me." And then all of a sudden she keeps on going, and then he just shoots her in the parking lot and then walks the fuck off.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I just remember her calling me stupid because I couldn't remember where the car is. I was like, "You were with me, you fucking dummy. You're as stupid as I am." Do you? Because I know some people do the thing where can't go to bed mad. We have to. Do you guys do that, or you're just like, "Hey, we'll get it figured out when we figure it out." You're like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, no. I mean, like literally, it's rare that we fight, but it's if there's eventually we'll talk, and I'll just sleep on the couch. She can have the bed, whatever, and there's enough room in the house for both of us, so But most of the time we do figure it out before we go to bed. So, yeah. But I mean, you know what my problem is that she's so much smarter than me, and it's like. So it's hard to argue with somebody who's smarter than you because they'll start doing shit and your brain is like trying to keep up and it's like, God damn it! And so
you're like, I don't fucking remember. Fuck, I have to take your word for what you're saying. I don't fucking know.
Oh my God. I mean, she's so educated and it's just like, I feel like I'm arguing with a professor and it's like, Jesus Christ.
How big of an age gap is acceptable? That was one of your fucking things on here.
Yeah. Okay. So get this. Yeah. So this is coming from from the standpoint of we have a friend who is in his early 60s. Jesus. And well, I mean, just kind of like a family friend.
I'm fucking with you.
And he likes women in their 30s. You know what I mean? And I think. It's interesting to understand where the girls in the family and the friends are like, oh, that's way too young. That's, they're like, that's gross. What do you have in common with the 30-year-old? And I think in my head, it's like, I'm in my 30s and I'm just like, oh yeah, what the fuck's wrong with that? Like, but I guess I'm not seeing it from their standpoint because it's like, that's such a big gap. And it's like, maybe 40s, 50s would be more reasonable because you have more in common, but you're still an adult at that age, so it's like I think as long as you're both somewhat into the same things, but he's still very like this person is very active and out and about, and he's like
I'm just laughing. You're into the same things. To be like, she's into Pokemon and I am into her vagina.
Yeah, she still loves Legos, and no, it's like, but to me. He's very active. He still rides his bike, does all these things. And to be real with you, most 50-year-olds I know, they're not, women, they're not riding bikes and doing all that active shit. So, I mean, you want to find somebody who's on your level, but damn, that's such a hard question of what is acceptable at that point. And I would say maybe 15 years. Is that, I don't know. What do you think?
That's interesting. Okay, so it's interesting. I have a lot of different input on this. So my mom and dad divorced when I don't remember them ever being together. And my dad was, until he remarried Ida, rest in peace, he was a whore. And my dad, he was quite the ladies' man. They call him Big Cat. And dude, he would come home. I remember specifically, I think I was maybe 19, but somewhere between 19 to 21. My dad was, let's see, so he's, how old is he? So he was, I guess, 50s-ish. He was around his 50s, maybe late 40s. But he brought home a 21-year-old. I was with my buddies, and my dad walks in with a 21-year-old. And not just like, oh, she's 21, that's good. No, like, holy shit, this chick is hot as fuck. And now we're in the living room. My pops, my buddies, this girl, this 21-year-old, and me. Yeah. And me and the girl are talking about like, oh, you went to Beaverton High School? I went to Wilson. And like my dad's just like, Jesus Christ. And I remember she had on a short-ass skirt, and we all could see her panties, and we were like, dude, you see her fucking panties? We can see her panties. But so my dad, like, my dad was getting younger women the whole time he was dating, and beautiful.
Wait. So how old was he?
At the time, he was like probably mid to late 40s, maybe early 50s.
Okay.
This chick was 21,
Yeah.
so you're, and
Damn.
fucking smoking. But and then I think of now for me, I honestly don't care. I mean, obviously, I want to probably over 21, but I don't care about age. Honestly, it literally is more. Do we mesh mindset? Like are we on like the same wavelength? Because I mean, you may meet a girl that's your same age, and whatever it doesn't click, or you may. I mean, maybe I meet a girl that's 30 and she's got her shit together,
Right.
And maybe she's into fucking. She like I look at Tony and Sabrina. I don't know what their age difference is. But like Sabrina fucking plays video games with us, which is so crazy,
Right.
Like a beautiful woman that's into video games too. You're like, where are they? Where is this Narnia?
Totally.
Yeah,
and
she's
I mean,
cool as shit.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing though. It's like, I guess you're really not thinking about age, really, when you're like, when you meet somebody, it's either you click or you don't click, And I mean, granted, you don't want to be dating somebody who's young enough to be your granddaughter or your,
Why
but
not?
at the same time, it's like,
No, but you know what, Ken, I was also going to say this too. The flip side of it, like when I was 21, dude, if there was a 40, 45, 50-year-old that was like hot as shit, and and we clicked or whatever, or it's usually, I mean, I don't know unless it's like a really successful woman, you usually don't see that where women want like a younger dude usually, for whatever reason.
Yeah. So, but are they dating? Is that woman dating you because she needs to feel younger, or is she dating you because she's like just attracted and you guys click? So, I mean, it's I'm sure there's a deeper psychological thing, and you don't want to date somebody who's on the daddy issue, you know what I mean? And it's like their dad wasn't there, so therefore they want the older guy, It's like I have people in my family who like the older guy like that, and it's like you step back and you're like, oh, is that because of their situation with their parent, or I don't know.
Here I have a question on that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm dumb. So you hear daddy issue. This person has daddy issues. All I know daddy issues as is like a girl that likes, like maybe her dad was missing from her life or something, or I don't know. They're attracted to older guys. Okay, so why is that bad if they have daddy issues, but they know it, they recognize it, and they, in a sense, embrace that or whatever? They're like, hey, maybe they're like, I had a problem with my dad, or I have daddy issues, but that's fine. I like what I like. I like older guys, Is that bad?
I don't think it is, but I mean, maybe there's some things that you need to also maybe take into account with a psychologist. Like, why are you,
PR Manny, careful, PR Manny.
PR Manny, you know what I mean? Like, Love in Black and White just wants to make sure. I mean, as long as it's consensual, we're okay with it. But more important, there needs to be some sort of psychological thing, because here's another thing too, right?
God damn.
So
You're saying they're fucked in the head.
No, I mean, you could be, because here's the thing
God
too, right?
damn.
Well, I mean, okay, I know looks aren't forever, but say for instance, okay, 21-year-old dates a 55-year-old, right? As things go on, like your person's gonna die well before you if you guys live long enough, right? So have you? I fucking don't know.
I'm looking at, dude, what's the name? Kathy McPhee? Kathleen McPhee from America's.
Yeah.
You know who she's dating?
She's
dating and she's, I think she's maybe late 20s or early 30s, but she's dating this guy that's like, is it David Ruffin or some dude that's like head of like, he's a multi-millionaire music dude. What are you laughing at?
Wait. So Catherine McPhee. Is she? Hold on, I gotta go, because you know who David Ruffin is, right?
Who is he?
David Ruffin's he's a Temptation. Who I don't even know if he's still alive.
It's not David Ruffin. Oh shit! I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay. Oh, Exactly. Okay, so that's the perfect example. Crystal was just talking about them. They actually are probably the perfect couple. They seem like they're on the same page. So that's the proof right there.
David
that,
Foster.
like,
David Foster.
David Foster, yeah. So they're the perfect example of something that can work, and it seems like they're together for the right reason. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's such a complex issue. So I think where I stand on it in the very end is, as long as you guys are both happy, as long as there's, I mean, I don't know. I think as long as you're both happy, fuck it.
You what?
As long as you're both happy, fuck it. That's all I was gonna say.
About. It's weird. It's interesting. And I don't know why. It sounds like you have a hang up about it, even though it's not anything that you're in. You know what I mean? Like you have.
Yeah.
I don't. Did your pops date young women or?
No, but you know what? Maybe this is it. The girl who cheated on me after we were together 3 years was with the older guy, and then also this girl that we all really cared about and liked, and she was gorgeous. We worked together at the bank, and she was into older guys, and that was always weird to me. That she
I wonder if that's
it was like, but she was into she was dating her dad's friends behind his back, which was kind of creepy. You know what I mean, to a certain extent. But I mean, once again, as long as you're both consenting. But then again, it comes into the place of like, what's that? What do they call it when somebody is kind of trying to like groom you? You know what I mean? Like that's something that you also got to be careful of, because you don't want to be a Woody Allen. You know what I mean? Where it's like Woody Allen.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought you said a white.
That's another thing.
White Allen. I was like, is this some fucking stereotype about white dudes? I don't know. Like, them White Allens. I'm like, fuck. I don't ever want to be a White Allen.
We should totally make that into a word. Hey, yo, them White Allens, motherfucker.
Yeah. White Allens, they're all fucking grooming these young chicks. They're like in fucking pedophilia. White Allens. It's weird. Like I said, when I was 21, age didn't matter to me then either. Like a girl, I would, if I find somebody attractive and then we click, then I never really gave a fuck about age. I've never have.
Yeah.
And to this day, like, I mean, I've dated younger. I think it's all the mental and like, do we click? Because the stereotypical like 21-year-old, I don't want to be around. That's just if some chick's like, oh my god, it's fucking crazy, like, oh, fucking yuck.
Fucking totes. Oh god damn.
Yeah. So I think I'm on the same thing where hey, if everybody's happy, then cool. Let's see. Okay, we got the age gap. How does cleanliness bother you?
Okay. So for me, it was like my dad. He was like, he was just like your dad, where he'd just be hooking up with random chicks, go from place to place. But like this dude wouldn't, like, sometimes he wouldn't shower, like, you know what I mean? And he would do like these whore baths where he would get the like hoe baths, and he'd like take a washcloth and just wash himself up real quick. And I was just like, I'm like, how do you sleep with somebody who isn't clean like that? It's like,
so you're talking body cleanliness.
Yeah. Or, so not only body cleanliness, but also like, if you can't maintain your own house and your living space, like, I can't live with somebody who's like hoarders either. You know what I mean? So on both levels, I mean, there's some people who aren't bothered by it, but I like, me and Crystal kind of freak out from time to time when it's like too dirty, and it's like, then we'll clean and we're like, all right, we're good.
Have you off the top of your head, do you remember any time either a girl, her physical was dirty you can take that however you want, or her place, like you were at her place? Because I'll give you an example of one. I remember one girl I was dating, and went to her place, and I went into her bathroom to pee, and dude, her toilet bowl looked like it hadn't been cleaned since she moved in. I was like, ugh. I remember my dad, I think one time was saying, look at a girl's toilet bowl, because just know that how that's kept is probably how her innards are kept.
What a great line. But I mean, it's so true. So there were two different instances, and not to be too graphic or anything, but
you can be graphic.
Okay, then.
PR
So
Manny,
this one girl,
just
yeah,
give the disclaimer.
yeah. This one girl, I was just like, whoo, like, yeah. I mean, everything else.
Were you like
smelled
who or
great.
pew?
I was like, pu. You know what I mean? I'm talking like, ooh, God. So I mean, like that's one thing. Like if you're not keeping that clean, I can't. I'm sorry, no. You know. And then the other one was I went to a girl's house and I remember I had the joke about.
It just
Yeah.
made me think of a Martin Lawrence joke where he talked about he would go down, he'd give her the finger test. And smell it like this, and then he'd put it up to her nose. Smell that? That's you. That's you right there. You smell that? That's you.
You're talking about
Martin
put a
Lawrence,
cert.
one of the greatest stand-ups. Oh, sorry, go
Dude,
ahead.
that like not to distract, but that was one of the best stand-ups of all time. If to any of the fans, if you haven't seen, what is it called? You So Crazy or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was the first one where he's in all black. Watch
Yeah.
that. It was like I think that inspired me to do comedy. You know, because what did he say? Put a cert in it or put a tic tac?
Dude, he fucking,
It's so bad.
So you were
But
like,
yeah.
That's you. That's you. This fucking way. And his dude, Martin Lawrence's physical, his manners and facial expressions, fucking tears kills me. All right, sorry. I didn't
Oh my
interrupt you.
God, so good. So, anyways, but yeah, so there was that situation where after that.
So how do you
hookup,
How do
I
you
was like,
address that in the moment? You're with a girl, Manny. You pull her panties down, and you're like, whoa, it's wafting. What a great word! It's fucking wafting. It's a hot summer.
Yeah. Oh.
And
I
you pull it
mean-
down, and then what? So what do you do?
I mean, you just try to do your best. You know what I mean? You do.
You look
You
in
don't
the
want to
mirror,
embarrass anybody.
one tear. You're like, for the team.
For real, we didn't date after that, so it was fucking done. So there's that situation. But then there was another girl that I went on like nothing physical happened, but we went on a date. Went to her house. It looked like Hoarders. She tried to get me a drink, and like the ice cubes ended up tasting kind of like whatever was in the freezer. And I was like, I can't do this.
Oh, I think I
So,
remember. This was way back. Yeah, dude, I think I remember you telling me about that. What'd you say? The ice cubes
Yeah.
tasted like? What was it?
salmon.
Yeah. Ugh. Oh.
And that was
And
it was
so
the
did
joke
she.
about. You remember Bodie? That was the joke. It was
Yeah.
about black on the inside.
Oh man. I'm
Oh,
trying.
man.
Yeah, I had the one girl that had the disgusting toilet, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, yeah, the fucking, and it doesn't. I don't think it. I think it's more when you're younger girls whose jujitsu or vajitsu smells.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't think it's happened really with the girls that I have associated
Yeah.
with as I've gotten older. But when you're younger, I don't know if it's girls don't know how to clean it properly or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm fucking not a woman, but some you'd just be like, good Lord. Yeah, it's weird. Like, how do you react to that?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. Same question. How would you address it? I mean, or would you
be like, let's just fuck.
That's so stupid.
I remember one girl. It was starting to get hot and heavy, and she didn't smell, but she didn't have any bad smell or anything like that, and nothing that was quote unquote dirty. But I remember I was like, hey, let me get a condom, and she's like, I'm trying to remember the verbiage because it freaked me out. She was like, I don't like condoms. It wasn't that though. It was something like, oh, I don't fuck with condoms or something like that. And I was like, what? You don't fuck with condoms? But I don't fuck with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
man.
it's just kind of it reminds me of that Dane Cook joke where he's like raw dog. Fucking girl using the term raw dog, you got to be concerned.
Yeah. Oh my God. So
could you
good.
date I love the way you wrote this. Could you date plastic surgery? Like the whole industry?
And that's the thing is I don't, me personally, I don't think I could date somebody with too much plastic surgery. If you want to do a little
Well,
bit,
what's too much?
I mean, if you're
Lil'
like
Kim?
Botoxing, yeah, if you're Lil' Kim, if you're originally black and then you look Chinese, like, come on, man, like that's too much. You know what I
PR
mean?
Manny,
Like,
make sure you put the disclaimer in here, PR.
I just want to say, Love in Black and White supports all races, ages, love, and whatever. But you've seen Lil' Kim. She don't look like. Yeah,
I
she
just
does
saw her
not
today.
look
Somebody
normal.
posted on Reddit or on Facebook side by side of how when she first came out and how she looks now. Or Kim Fields. Fuck, man.
Oh my God! And then Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell. What's her
that's
name?
what I meant. Lisa Turtle, not Kim Fields.
Yeah.
Lisa Turtle. That's what I meant. Sorry, Kim Fields.
but,
I
I mean,
apologize. Kim Fields, my queen.
But I'm just like, there's certain times when it's like you've just gone overboard, and I think if you want to do a little bit here, if you want to do like, you want to get breast implants if it makes you feel better, after you've had kids, whatever, or if it helps you, great. I'm not really one for like the ass implants, if you wanted to do that, great. But, I guess everything's got to be for you to a certain extent. But at the same time, like I've seen those older ladies that have just done way too much. And they're like, yeah, exactly.
They're like, have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight? Why so serious? You want to know how I got these scars? I had plastic surgery 18 times.
Perfect description. Oh my God.
Yeah,
so good.
Fake boobs. I'm indifferent, it's not like if a girl has fake boobs, I'll be like, ew, or nothing like that. But, if you have small boobs, I don't give a fuck, whatever you want to do as far as that. And I like a girl with, bamboo earrings in her. I'm just kidding. I like more the natural look or like, a girl with just like, waking. I guess that's when you can see how beautiful a woman is, like waking up, no makeup, I like the natural beauty. That's why I always say like girls with short hair, you will know how beautiful or not a woman is if she has like shaved her head or short hair, because all you have to stand on is your face. So it's gonna highlight whatever you are. If you've been using hair to camouflage that you're not as attractive in the face, then you're fucked.
Totally.
Or if you maybe it's been hiding how beautiful you are, and you shave your head and you're like holy shit, look how beautiful she is. No hair, she just has this beautiful face. But I don't like the fucking Catwoman look, so much plastic surgery or like the fucking like they're in they're pulling 10 G's. Yeah, exactly. I like the more I don't mind like wrinkles or crow's feet or whatever, and then you have these women, and then there's also like, is it bad plastic surgery that we have a problem with? Because I don't know, like J-Lo looks great, but I don't know if she's had work done. I have no idea. Maybe she has, and it's because she looks fucking great. Or, Selma Hayek, or I think she's had her tits done. But I mean,
but I mean, like, I think there's something also about just aging gracefully, because I mean, I don't know if you know Helen Mirren. She looks great. I mean, and also Sally Fields, she looks amazing. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you could age with a person, like if I could be married to somebody and they age that gracefully, like I'm all for it. I mean, look at whatchamacallit, just like I was saying, who played Jackie Brown, Pam Grier.
Oh yeah,
she looks amazing. You know what I mean? And like same
Raquel
thing with
Welch.
Raquel Welch. And then I was gonna say whatchamacallit, who played Black Panther's mom. Angela Bassett.
Or Angela Bassett. Yeah, I was gonna say Lynn Whitfield, but Lynn Whitfield too.
Oh yeah, seriously. And there's just something about aging gracefully that I appreciate, where it's like you don't have to do all the extra. It's like I appreciate your beauty just for what it is. You don't need all the extra. So
ooh, PR Manny coming in strong at the end.
PR Manny, that's right. I had to come back.
Well, that's like I did a video the other day on Lisa Rennie. Is that her name? From Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever. Like her, I don't know who she is. I'm sure she's probably had work done on her face. Who knows? But like her body, she fucking, I think she's maybe around 50, but she looks incredible. Incredible body, and but she's doing the WAP dance, and she fucking flashes her old fucking vagina, and that goes back to that aging gracefully. Like I'm like,
Right.
What's her name? What's the fucking old lady you said? Myrna or whatever.
Oh, Helen Mirren.
Yeah, can you imagine her sitting down, fucking wet ass pussy, and then she fucking spreads her legs? You'd be like, oh god, a fucking bat flies out. Fucking Jesus Christ, man! It's. I think it's almost a classier move to let your wrinkles show, and I don't know. I think I have a preference of I would prefer that, but again, if it's good plastic surgery and that's something you feel like you want to do, and it's not destroying, I guess the what I fell in love with. Like I don't want to take you into surgery as my wife, and then you come out as the fucking clown at the kids party. I'm like, who the fuck? Hey, where's she at? No, that's her right there. I'm like, what the fuck? She's a new person.
All right. Oh man. Well, it is about that time.
Yes, sir.
So I was just thinking for next week's episode, my question to you is, how many kids would you be okay with, like if you're the person you're dating, if they had, what do you think is the max number of kids that you'd be okay with if you were gonna like marry that person?
Okay.
Or would you be okay at all with like marrying a person with kids?
All right, perfect. I'm putting this down as the teaser. Okay, perfect. Anything you want to plug?
No, just improv. This is the fun stuff. I think we got a show.
Can people
like in
come watch
November.
your improv online?
I feel like it's gonna be online pretty soon. I think it's in November, so I'll keep you posted.
I'm fucking watching one.
You should. Oh my god! And then you could just like rip on me for the rest of my life.
Throw out a location. Abortion clinic. I'm just typing shit in there. Fucking, sir, can we get something a little? Okay. Satanic cult. All right. And you're at Manny Martin Jr., which the name will be on the thing. What am I plugging? I will plug. Sorry, I just had a gig cancel. I was supposed to be in Montana next month, but it got canceled today. Let's see. So Friday, I'm doing an interview with James Jones Jr. on Instagram. You can look it up. Look up James Jones Jr. And then Saturday the 24th in the morning, 10 a.m., I'm doing a podcast with Keitho Barole. He's in Africa, and he's a fan of mine and wanted me to do his podcast. I believe he's in Africa. He said you have African fans. I thought that meant that he was in Africa. I hope. God, what if I just fucking? I'm gonna need PR Manny on this, dude. What if you just meant like you have African American fans? But he said you have fans in Africa, so fucking. Oh God, if he gets me canceled just because I fucking misquoted him.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Just want to let everybody know that Love in Black and White loves our African fans, whether you're in America or you're in Africa.
Oh fuck it, and he's Asian, which is weird. No, just kidding, no. So stupid. And Saturday, doing this Saturday the 24th, I will be doing a show at Notoriety here in Vegas at on Fremont Street. Saturday, I think I'm doing 2 shows then. I gotta hit it, but just look up at Notoriety here in Las Vegas. I'm at Big Irish J on everything. Please rate, subscribe. If you write a nice little review, you can give us a 5-star, and that'd be great. And if you write a little something, we appreciate that. And look, dude, we never even mentioned it. We're fucking wearing the same color again.
Oh, what are the odds? Crazy. Oh, man.
Dude, we should be dating.
Right there.
All right. I think that's it. Until next week, this is Love in Black and White, where each week we
put the love right back in you.
We put the love